When you think of Southern Implants, what comes to mind? Advanced implantology, industry-leading innovation for everyday solutions. Southern Implants has to be a company that is different to what the competition does. We're in a different part of the world. We have a different approach to things. We have different pressures on us, and we are highly technologically driven. The inspiration comes from knowing that we can meet the needs of the clinicians. So it's just wonderful to listen to what the needs are and to know that there's a technological solution to most of those problems. Translating the need into product is a wonderful, wonderful, innovative journey that is driven by passion. Add that to developments in technology, and it's a perfect storm to bring about wonderful new products. Born from the ideology that effective treatment solutions should not just be the goal, but the standard, Southern Implants' history starts in 1984, when the first group of South Africans had the honor of attending an osseointegration course in Sweden, hosted by the father of implantology, Professor Bromar. 3 years later, this group of South African innovators approached me after I had returned from the United States of America, where I had developed and manufactured an artificial heart valve housing from titanium. They were searching for a solution to bridge the implantology gap in the South African market. And thanks to my experience gained whilst working with titanium, the transition from medical device manufacturing to implantology industry made perfect sense. After a year of late nights, intense discussions, and numerous prototypes, we were finally ready to place the first Southern implant into a patient's jaw. Fast forward 35 years to where we are today. It is clear that progress has helped us become a household name in the implantology field. Our modest location in Irene, South Africa, which was originally used as a film laboratory, has seen great expansions over the years and has evolved into a dynamic, streamlined manufacturing center that successfully supplies implant components to an international market. The importance of being privately funded and not part of a corporate is that you have the ability to take very long-term decisions. You're not answering to shareholders that want a return. You're not part of an investment fund. And that just gives you the freedom to say, hang on, there is a better way, but this better way might take 5 or 10 years. You can invest in things that you know are right without having to answer to people that aren't that really worried about patient outcomes. They're more worried about their return on investment. And if you think about that, the product that goes into a patient has to have longevity. You want it to last a lifetime. You want it to be the best that you can possibly make it, so that it will outlive even yourself. And that to me is absolutely fundamental.
At Southern Implants, we take great pride in engineering, which is why we select and empower our engineers to become forward-thinking pioneers. We place immense focus on expertly designing, drafting, and prototyping each Southern implant into a functional medical device that will integrate harmoniously with organic tissue. For this reason, we take calculated steps to help us transition effectively from the conceptual phase of a medical device to rationalizing the initial design and eventually manufacturing a device that will exceed our clientele's expectations. On average, it takes approximately 1 to 2 years from the conceptual phase to design and manufacture a medical device before it goes through numerous verifications, validations, and prototyping to ensure that we produce a device that upholds our world-class standard. This requires that we provide all the dimensions, materials, and additional information to our prototyping specialists, who then analyze our conceptual design before our engineers develop the concept into a functional medical device. As a company that aims to provide the best possible treatment solutions through superior products, we conduct continuous research with our credible institutions to further enhance our development capabilities during the conceptual phases. We also have to consider customers' needs when we work on proposed designs for new product lines, because we have to assess on how we can technically address those needs. Once we've outlined our technical needs, we formulate objectives for the new product line that will serve as a guide as we enter in the lengthy process of designing the model drawings with the help of our design software. It takes countless late nights and iterations before a design's elements meet our objectives. Once we're pleased with the digital rendering, it is sent through to our master machinist, who thoroughly inspects the technical drawings and converts them into machine instructions so that a prototype can be manufactured. And this is where our individuality lies. Southern Implants has experienced world-class machinists and engineers working side by side to analyze software rendered designs and alter them with the help of their combined wealth of knowledge and years of experience. To ensure that a prototype meets our input needs, our machinist will make changes as needed before the prototype is produced and put through a series of fatigue, torque, and performance tests that comprises of the design verification stage. During design verification, our fatigue tester measures the force exerted on a sample over thousands of cycles until it fails. This helps us determine the life expectancy of our components. The surface topography and composition of each prototype is then scanned with our state-of-the-art scanning electron microscope to produce images that help us analyze the surface, particle count, size determination, and the process control of each prototype. In addition to these tests, we also carry out other performance tests, including torque and batch testing, clinical trials, and custom tests that are intended to validate our confidence in the product line and ensure that each medical device performs according to desired specification. During the design and prototyping phase, we still make several developmental adjustments to a sample to ensure that it exceeds currently acceptable market standards. This enables us to always stay one step ahead of the rest. It is only once the prototype passes these quality assurance tests that it then undergoes design validation. Here, the design instructions and manufacturing notes are approved by our in-house team of experts before they are handed over to our factories for manufacturing.
When it comes to our implants, we believe in using pure grade 4 titanium. By utilizing only the best materials, we can consistently manufacture medical devices that exceed prescribed strength requirements whilst functioning at higher than normal torque loads. Material choice is a vital step in machining, as material limitations will determine the limitations of our devices. High-grade 4 titanium allow us to preserve a high fatigue limit whilst remaining malleable enough to be machined into the innovative shapes and designs that our customers have come to love and trust from our brand. With the help of our dedicated procurement team, our titanium is sourced from various sites around the globe that meet our high specifications. Once a batch is mined and extracted from a location, the raw material is sent to Pennsylvania, USA, where it is treated and refined so that the material's properties will match our requirements. The refined titanium rods are then shipped to our local store and kept in bulk quantities to prevent shortages and to reduce manufacturing lead times. One of our company's philosophy says, great material is the foundation of great implants, which is why, despite the many steps and attention to detail required, we believe in only sourcing the best materials that will set the benchmark in premium quality products. The material choice of pure high-strength titanium is chosen in the best interest of the patient, as it reduces the risk of later complications, for example, implant fractures and integration into the human body. As the world is driven towards automation, Southern Implants takes a different approach to infrastructure. To set ourselves apart from our competitors in such a highly populated industry, all our machines are continuously monitored and serviced by qualified machinists. And while the decision to utilize oil-cooled CNC machines might seem like a high-risk, low-reward decision, our years of experience have taught us otherwise. Although oil cooling increases fire risks and machine malfunctions, it offers a vital benefit of ensuring that the titanium is cut and refined to precision. At this point, an additional inspection phase is carried out by our qualified machinists, whereby they meticulously inspect each step of the machining process. This is done to determine early on whether variations exist in our product that needs to be rectified before they become a problem. Our machinists are trained specialists that serve as our first line of quality control, and they carry out visual inspections, tolerance and dimension checks on every component we produce. At Southern Implants, our corporate culture is centered around cultivating talent, and we believe in nurturing a familial office environment with our staff, since it is they who make our company great. Most of our employees have been with us for several years, and it gives us great joy to see them build on their dreams in the same way Southern Implants was built. The concept of cultivating talent within the company goes well with our value system of integrity, dedication and team. And for that reason, it's very important for us to employ people that have passion for the industry, because we know our customers appreciate that.
After the medical device has been signed off by the machinist, it goes through various post-production steps to ensure that it matches the outlined design specifications. Various steps such as surface roughening, color anodizing and laser marking are performed with state-of-the-art machinery in a controlled clinical environment. Our surface roughening machine is a custom-built Southern innovation that was designed in-house to suit our needs. This machine blasts grit comprising of bioinert particles, orientating itself through multiple angulations within seconds to roughen all concave and convex surfaces. This is done in a controlled environment to ensure precise surface roughness and optimal osseointegration. To further enhance our implant range, we go the extra mile by color anodizing our components to simultaneously increase corrosion resistance as well as ease of use and identification, which is essential with such a vast array of implant ranges. Our laser marking machines effectively process thousands of components per day, marking and labeling items before they go through a second quality check. In our continuous drive to be the best in the industry, we implement many different processes that set us apart from our competitors. One of these is our 3 times over inspection of every single item before it will be released to the market. Even though industry standards is only a single inspection, and even with that, it can be done on a percentile basis, we ensure that every part is thoroughly validated before it is released to our customers. Although our secondary quality control check is done in a shorter time frame, this quality control step still requires our product specialists' expert eyes to identify any variation that may exist after manufacturing. It is thanks to our closely knit team of machinists and quality control inspectors that we can detect any variation in manufacturing within the hour of a manufacturing run, allowing us to take swift corrective action. They serve as our second and equally vital line of defense that helps us guarantee our product's quality every step of the way. At the Q200 stage, our quality specialists are equipped with several inspection tools such as gauges, calipers, and microscopes used to scrutinize every component a second time. And last, but certainly not least, is our inspection department. Serving as our ultimate line of defense towards maintaining quality, this department is wholly dedicated to the inspection of our products. In this department, you'll find that our highly trained inspection officers have innumerable years of experience backing them as they carry out the inspections. Many a time, these hawk eye inspectors have been able to detect even the most subtle changes before notifying our engineering team that there is a potential variation. An update as slight as changing the surface roughness by 0.1 of a decimal are spotted by these experienced inspectors. This is testament to how Southern Implants maintains its Southern edge.
Although our Southern Implants expertise stretches beyond 35 years, it is our company's history that has laid the foundation for our legacy. And whilst we track and record every step of our manufacturing process, starting from the source of our titanium to the personnel handling the completed medical device, it is actually Graham's expertise with designing and manufacturing pericardium patches for the world-renowned company Glyca that has guided Southern Implants' sterility processes. Having utilized bovine pericardium from Namibia, where recording the source identity and batch tracking details is required, we have learned the importance of tracking and monitoring the batches of every implant we manufacture. And with our prior handling of heart devices, we have learned better controlled cleanroom regulations for higher quality standards. We carry this kind of infrastructure into our secondary processing unit. In an industry that is constantly advancing in sterilization techniques, Southern Implants is proud to say that we push the envelope by developing and expanding our secondary processing facilities to exceed required standards. Our clean room comprises a pressurized, controlled environment where pollutants like dust, airborne microbes, and aerosol particles are filtered out to provide the most sanitary processing area possible. We take great care to exceed the industry-prescribed ISO 8 sterility level by carrying out regular checks to identify potential risk factors. After a product has entered secondary processing, it is processed according to a predetermined work instruction that is designed to match the specific medical device. A series of organic solvent treatments and various handling procedures are undertaken in our ISO 5 approved laminar flow cabinets. After items are treated and cleaned, they are transported through a sterile chamber to a team of packaging experts who use specialized containers and cases to house and label our components. During packaging, a gamma radiation indicator label is placed on our products before they are shipped to a radiation site for gamma ray treatment. Undertaking these meticulous steps signifies Southern Implants' dedication to quality assurance and forms the basis of our guarantee that we will always supply products at a top-tier quality level.
I often think back to these vehicles from the 1930s, that they were where implantology is today relative to where it had started. The engineering was exciting. They were trying to get cars that could do multi-purpose items, and yet they also wanted to race. This particular version of Bentley here was a phenomenal car at Le Mans. It was the first car where someone did Le Mans single-handed for 24 hours. It was also the first car that did 2 races in a row, 24 hours, without any modification or attention to the car at all. That durability and longevity is something that I feel we really need to embrace with dental implants. At 86 years old, the car is exactly where an implant that was placed in a 19 or 20-year-old will be at the end of that person's life. That is the fascination of cars from the 1930s. Part of our DNA is that the job is never done. There's always improvement to be made. We are at the start. We still need to get to the end of every race. Part of that DNA is the belief that we can still do better. That is what drives us to come to work each day, to do better for the patient, to be able to be the leaders in this area. We have a bright future ahead of us, simply because we paint our own future. It's unscripted as to what is going to be there, and it's a pursuit of looking at new technologies and looking at how we can do things more effectively and more efficiently. Maybe we're right at the start of the new way of treating edentulous, but I think there's still many, many years to go and many innovations to be had. This is the Southern Implants legacy.